Hi, what's up guys? In this video, we're going to reviewing the yo-yo formula Apollo. It's a Pro Series bimetal yo-yo that costs around like 600 pesos or basically a few dollars if you're not into the whole breaking the bank situation. So even though I've thrown this before, let's review on it. So far, this yo-yo is actually like really surprisingly light. Even though it says in the description around like 69 grams, it's basically surprisingly light. It's like, I would say it's around either 66 grams or 65 on my own hands. Probably because of its diameter, which is actually, I don't know, 1 millimeter longer than the previous yo-yos I bought. But so far, it's actually a really well yo-yo. Even though the rim are pretty small, it's still stable enough. It's small, yes, around like 47 millimeters, but it's usable. It's very catchy, very floaty, but not heavy at the same time. So what I would say about this yo-yo is that it's like rounded, but somehow funnels good at the same time because it's not really an extremely rounded yo-yo where the catch zone is like limited to certain areas. But on this one, it's like a rounded yo-yo, but with some sort of like concentration where instead of like flat, it's curved to maximize catchability, which is good because I would use this to like practice tech tricks, like like the most complex tricks so far. And yes, it's a great yo-yo by its value too, because since this thing is a bimetal yo-yo under 1,000 pesos, aside from retailers, this by far is a really good value for its price. I did bought the B grade, but it's surprisingly smooth for a B grade. Like, I was like broke, so that's why I bought this in the first place, the B grade version. Well, my friends asked me, my friends, a few people around my area, and probably some people beyond my area would say like, do you ever compete? The answer would be both a yes and no. The reason why is, yes, I really want to compete because I want to showcase my skills throughout the Philippines. But the no part is, I have no money. I straight up don't have money to travel with. Especially I have to go like hotels, stay in for a few nights, like compete on the local contests like Philippine National Yo-Yo Contest, or even like Mindanao Regional Yo-Yo Contest, which is around Cagayan de Oro. But sadly, I can't. So basically, I have no money for it. But then again, at least I can still train. Probably one day, I would get into a contest if I get like employment or earning some money, which is good. So far, it's a great yo-yo. Really flowy. Really knows how to handle my tech tricks, not gonna lie. Wait, I'm gonna do this one. Yeah. Overall, it's a really good yo-yo. Small rims, yes, but it does pack a punch because of its like wide diameter, where the stainless steel is like a compensator instead of a stabilizer, which is very good in a way to make prices low, but ability for this thing to be high, which is something else for engineering. Like let's see. Since this thing is like smaller in width, it makes chopsticks feel easier compared to the wide yo-yos that I use for like chopsticks, like the Medusa SS version 1, which unfortunately I can't recover on it. I couldn't buy it though because I was very broke, so I couldn't buy the B grades. I was broke at that time and my parents wouldn't allow me to buy more. So I had to say goodbye to the first gen. But I did have my second gen though. My Medusa SS version 2. They're both still alive. And my Factory Monster Edge and my modified version of the Yo-Yo Magic Yo-Yo Titan Behemoth, which they are all great yo-yos. Even my modified version was still rocking, but it does give me like a hard time on chopsticks. Let me try this one. Oh well. So far, let's test its stability. Like its true stability. That's how would a yo-yo be 69 grams be literally fast? Maybe it's because of the short string. Maybe you're using a lot more strength than usual. It's like a very surprising feeling. I would expect the yo-yo to be very, very heavy and sluggish, but maybe because of its diameter, it's basically like counteracting it, making it feel lighter, making it feel something different, which is something else. No, I can't. I can't do the 3.0 hook. I've been practicing the higher hooks lately, and my highest I can do was 3.0 hook, but I haven't consistently practiced that because I need to practice the foundations like 2.0 and 2.5. Don't worry, I still have some kitty strings at the back, but for now, it's just the factory string and the factory yo-yo. So far, this is a great yo-yo. For the value of its price point, yeah, this is a good yo-yo to buy with. Definitely a best thing for... I hope the company would keep making this though. Because for a yo-yo at this price point, for a bimetal, it's a steal. And it's a great thing. Especially for the community that try to taste what entry-level bimetals would feel like. I know there's like $100 bimetals or a $50 bimetal or so on and so forth. But this one could be like the entry level, kind of like now what is it's like a category, a tier, where like instead of the whole knowing the thickest bimetal so far, you might want to taste what the budget version looks like, which is good. Very surprisingly well executed. I had to wash the bearing like 3 times just to get this good consistency. I do want to admit, like B grade, and look at the sound. It's almost silent, even though it's obviously you can hear it. It's like buying this yo-yo is like the equivalent of like let's say a stealth fighter plane, you know? It's like it's very quiet. Like how on earth did they make it quiet? I have no idea. Like Quiet yo-yos are arguably for me the most dangerous thing for a yo-yo to have. You know why? It's because look, you can tell how fast the bearing is depending on the sound. Like if it's high pitch, it's obviously fast, but when it's like wet and low tone of a bearing noise, means the bearing is now spinning very slow. And me washing it a few times probably caused the debris is blocking the sound or nullifying it to the zero. But that's what also makes silent bearings dangerous. You can't tell how fast the bearing is because if you bind it without having without having a literal idea on how fast the yo-yo is, one wrong bind and you end up snapping it towards your hand instead of the whole like small bind, which of course gives you better control if you hear it in the first place. Overall, it's a very, very solid, solid yo-yo. Also, one last trick for this bad boy because this bad boy is like an absolute unit for its price. Like how on earth this thing is like a few dollars, literally. It's like 600 Philippine pesos. Wait, let me do that again. I need to execute it this time correctly. Yes. Funny for my grandma. So overall, this should be like a must-have if you want like an entry-level bimetal instead of skipping the few hundred levels where you buy like the thickest bimetals like that one wild yo-yo or maybe the edge beyond kind of stick where it's like so thick that it's intimidating. This one is like an entry budget level that it's very likable and it's very very good. That's one. So if you want to buy this yo-yo, it's still available on Shopee, but mostly like 5 or 4 pieces left. They're all B grades, so get them before they ran out. Thank you. Thank you for watching.